the young people we work with is an extension of Mama, I Want to Sing. And somewhere along the line, we determined we'd go back. Now, you want to talk about these coincidences. Who's pulling the screen? I now live in my grandmother's house, the one that used to walk down the street. The house next door to the house I grew up in became available, and I bought it. And I decided that I wanted to give something back to the community and to sort of share this knowledge that I had accumulated over these many years. And I targeted the 13 to 19-year-old group because I felt that that's where the help was really needed. That if you could begin to shape these young minds and give them some of these principles without them even being aware, and to give them the history of their music, that would be a contribution that I could feel proud of, and I thought that would be necessary, and that was missing. And little did I know that that adventure would be what it turned out to be, and how much the young people appear to have improved their thinking, their school, their family. We wanted to be the bridge between family, church, and school. We wanted to give them some alternatives than being in the street or making bad choices. And if everybody just takes a piece of whatever they can do, this is the piece. I'll take the musical kids. I know what to do with that. I'll take these music, because it's the musical kids that often get so lost in the system, especially when they took the music out of the school. The music is, so these poor little kids are kind of like lost, and they're being insisted to doing the math and science, when math and science is wonderful, and there are many gifted math, science, and English majors, but what about the musical kids? What do we do with them? They're lost. So when you give them what they need, then everything else gets better.
That totally makes sense, yes.
So we use music as therapy for these young people. We want to balance the menu in music so that I don't say don't listen to hip hop or R&B, I just say, here's some of this. Understand this so that you can find your own voice and be in touch with the sounds that you make. Is about to teach, train, and employ our musical young people and help to make them whole, solid contributors.
Is there any of the kids that you've been involved with? Have you seen them succeed?
Oh yeah. Well, they do a number of things. We tell them everybody's not going to be an entertainer, but music in your life is necessary, I think, and part of your growth and development. Some people like to sing in the shower. Some people want to sing in the church. Some people want to sing on great stages. And so many students have gone off to college, musical colleges, and some not musical. Some want to be, we have everything from the homeless to the high school of science students, and particularly academically gifted. We have everything in the class. We have one young man who has a recording contract with a record label owned by Alicia Keys. They're going to perform at the American Museum of Natural History for the second time before audiences of 10,000. They perform before the mayor, the New York Historical Society. So they get to to practice and share what they learned in the school with many people in the city and surrounding area. And when I was coming here to think about, what can I say? There's so much to say. There's so many pockets to stop to draw from. But if I was to stop and think, even after we lost that theater and then we went to all these other countries and we formed these new relationships and different things happened, and we come back to New York and we put this foundation together, and we're in this space, and this space is not big enough. And I know it's not big enough. And the message was, use what you have till you get what you need. Use what you have until you get what you need. So I said, all right, okay, teens, I had to give them the experience of performing before live audiences. Now, the space I have can maybe hold 75, 80 people tops. So I would get up and say, I'm going to introduce you to the performing arts group. As you can see, we're busting at the seams, and we're looking for bigger space so that we can provide more services for these young kids. But God said, use what you have until you get what you need. And people would just applaud. And so that's why we're all crowded in this little space until we can get the next space. And I said that, I heard myself say that over and over again. Don't you know we got a space? Don't you know? And it was there all the time, and somehow when we can't always see it because we're thinking something, we haven't turned on the tap, we didn't, or whatever happens, or it wasn't supposed to happen until it was supposed to happen. And so you just kind of move along and move. So I'm just like, look at God. You can just brag about God, just brag. So that's it.